All right, man. It's your boy Trey. Well, let's just talk fitness, and we are back again, man. My second interview of the day. I just finished one around 2. Is when I had the first one. Now coming on 5:30, man. I got my guy here, Jordan, who also he agreed. He agreed, man. He agreed for me to interview him. He agreed for me to pick his brain a bit and just to know a bit more about him and his content and who he is. But before we dive into who Jordan is, man, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your boy constantly pushing out interviews, man. I'm trying to get in about 3-4 a day. So I'm doing this for y'all because y'all asked for them. But again, thank y'all so much for the love and support. With that said, man, about to get on into it, man. Jordan, bro, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm excited about this, bro. Excited about having you on and you taking out the time to share and allow my followers as well as yours to know more about you, bro. So let's dive right on in, man. Let's dive right on in. With this said, bro, if I can ask, man, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? And just a little bit about your childhood that led up into the aspect of where you are now.
So I'm born and raised Miami, Florida. I was living in the same house for approximately like 18 years. I moved out around the age of 18, I would say. But what really got me into fitness, I would say, is my dad. I was telling you that story a little bit earlier. Dad, basically, since I was born, he was having me push-ups, sit-ups, running, playing football, running track. Anything dealing with fitness that you can name, he had me doing it. So I really was kind of born into the fitness world, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So it was kind of easy for me to just, keep going with it and, do my own thing. I did mention to you approximately like 6 years ago, I would say, my dad did pass away. So after that kind of like really gave me that extra push, the extra, I need to like start taking it more seriously because a little bit that I would say, I wasn't like, I was into fitness still, but I wasn't really taking it as serious as I am now. So, I mean, like I would work out here and there. I would skip weeks, I still had a nice physique because of what I was doing when I was younger, but I would skip here and there and I come back, every so often and do it. But once he passed away, like I said, that's when I really, got into it and started pushing it the way I'm pushing it now.
Bro. I love that, man. I love that. And that, okay, you know what? Before I even jump into that whole aspect of you and your father and that relationship, bro, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now? What are you currently doing? What is Jordan doing today?
Well, I'm actually an LPN. That's a licensed practical nurse, for those of you who don't know. So I'm working in Aventura as a nurse. I'm in an ALF. So that's an assisted living facility. Basically working with the geriatric or the older folks. I guess you could call it the old folks home.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just working with them like that end of life care, It's not really as extensive as a nursing home. So most people, when they hear old folks home, they immediately think nursing home. It's not a nursing home. A nursing home is more extensive care. So you'll see people with like peg tubes. You'll see people that can't walk, they're bedbound, basically things like that. In an assisted living facility, it's more like the people are more lively. They can walk, they can make phone calls, they go out to have lunch with their families. So it's like not really as in depth, I would say, as a nursing home. It's more laid back, and the population is a little bit younger than what you would see in a nursing home.
Okay. Younger. You said younger.
They're a little bit younger than what you would see in a nursing home.
That's
with disabilities or like end of life type stuff.
Yeah.
Per se.
Wow. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Well, and I know we talked about this, chopped this up a little bit before I press record, but if you could just go into the aspect of what led you into this occupation. Like, did you see yourself in this occupation? You know what I'm saying?
I promise you. Yes. Really what got me into nursing, I was kind of like led into it by my mentors and my teachers. So it all really started in middle school. I remember I was in the 8th grade. I was in algebra class with a teacher named Miss Shirley. So it was coming up on like graduation and everything, and she was hitting me up. She was basically talking to all the students. She was saying, "Hey, y'all got to start getting serious. We moving on to high school, so y'all got to start figuring out what high school y'all want to go to, what career path y'all want to start taking, moving forward."
Yeah.
I was one of those kids. I was smart, but I just did not like to do the work. I was kind of lazy, and that's like the worst thing you can have. She gave us like an assignment to, start picking out a high school, start picking out like where you want to lead your life, basically, like what direction you want to take. So she gave us the assignment, and basically was telling us to, like, I forgot what they called, but pick a magnet. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I just remember the magnet for high school. So I ended up not picking anything. I didn't choose. I just disregarded what she said. And then she kind of just placed me into medical magnet for my high school. So when I transferred into high school and went to Northwestern, they placed me in medical magnet. And so if you know what medical magnet is, it's like, I say a 4 or 5 step program that leads to becoming a nurse.
Yeah.
So I started off with anatomy and physiology in the 9th grade. In the 10th grade, I took anatomy and physiology 2. In the 11th grade, I was in the CNA program, certified nursing assistant. So we went through the 10th grade year. It kind of just went on like that. And then by my 12th grade year, I was doing the LPN course. I wasn't an LPN yet, but I was doing the licensed practical nurse course. And I finished up 6 months after high school. So that's kind of what really got me. I felt like I was kind of led into it. You know, I didn't really choose it. I kind of went with the flow, you know?
Bro, that is amazing, man. And again, it's a prime example of where life can take you. You know what I'm saying? In terms of even when you don't know, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you don't know where life, the twists and turns and crevices that it throws at you. Oftentimes you can be taken into places that you just don't know. Now, a big question I would actually have in regards to where you are now, bro, would you say you love it? Would you say that this is a passion? This is something you enjoy doing? And perhaps you can see yourself within the next few years, maybe 5 years from now?
You mean the nursing or?
Yeah, nursing, right.
Okay. To be honest, my job, I don't really, I see it as a job, but I don't really see it as a job because I built such a family, like at my job. Like the people I work with, they're all women. Like I'm surrounded by nothing but women all day. So a little hectic at times, but really, I mean, it's like a literal family, you know, and I'm like the youngest one there. So I see everybody around me as like a mom. Everybody always trying to take care, making sure I'm good. So, I mean, when I go into work, I don't really see it as work necessarily. You know, I mean, I wouldn't say nursing is like the best job to have, but my job in particular, I feel like I'm blessed, you know, where I am. Because like I said, it's a family. It's literally a family. We all talking, we laughing, we joking, you know, it's not tense like some of these other jobs you go to. So really, I do love my job actually, you know, and I see myself doing it for a while. But I'm really trying to get into my own thing with this fitness journey. That's really where I see myself. But this job, I would never, you know, I don't really see myself leaving it per se.
Bro, I get that, man. I get that. And I love that. I love that aspect of you, in a sense, loving what you do or having a passion, not even seeing it as a job because you have such a passion and the desire for it. The community and the family aspect you've built around it too. That is so crucial. I think that is so crucial to have in any environment. So, bro, hats off to you in regards to that, man. I'm so glad that that's something that you see or have found yourself. Yeah.
Hey, give me 1 second,
bro. I can pause it. Yeah, no problem. All right, man. All right. So I love that aspect, bro. The aspect that you know, again, you're in nursing, you found yourself in something that you did not necessarily think that you would land in, but you found yourself in a place that you have built a family and community around, which is gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Now, you did state that you can't see yourself here, or you in a sense don't see yourself here 5 years from now. If you don't mind me asking, the aspect of that, or the aspect of you not seeing yourself here per se, but more so in this life of fitness, are you trying to branch into more of a personal trainer aspect? Are you trying to grow your brand, your own fitness brand, and just creating a lifestyle around that? Where exactly are you heading in regards to that?
I wouldn't necessarily say a personal trainer. I actually haven't really gotten that far ahead. I think about what I'm trying to get into. It's more of like creating a community around myself. So that like spreading, you know, good information about fitness, you know, dieting, you know, things like that. And I can bring some of that nursing aspect, that health aspect into it as well. So it's really, I really didn't like foresee like me being a personal trainer or anything. I mean, if it does come along, you know, I wouldn't say no, but that's not really the goal I had in mind. I really wanted to kind of, you know, bring people together from like the different things I've acquired along the way. Just like kind of. that's really what I saw in the beginning of everything, or starting this, I should say.
I feel it, bro. I feel it, and I love that. So it actually sounds a lot like what I'm doing, personal brand, building
Yeah.
that sense of a community around the aspect of your social media presence.
Definitely.
So, bro, I can completely respect that. Now, I do have to ask this too. What made you, I guess, in some sense, embrace that? Because again, we talked about this before I hit record, but you stated that you were an introvert, or you're an introvert. You stated that, and y'all, when y'all see his content, y'all gonna be like, man, this man lying. But like literally, you stated that this isn't something that you would typically do. You wouldn't typically be doing interviews or talking or even doing social media
At all.
What the heck happened?
I don't know. I figure I find myself to be like kind of weird, like one of those in between kind of people. I feel like I don't really fit in with like, that popular crew that's always, going out doing all this. But then again, I don't really fit in with that. So I wouldn't necessarily call myself like an introvert either, or like in between, because I can, I feel like I can vibe with, this crew, but this crew. Really, I just think it's me wanting more for my life and more for myself, and not wanting to necessarily be controlled in a sense. I mean, control is always a big thing for me. It might come off a little selfish, but I've always been like about control. So like, I don't like being told, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, So like, I was telling you, I love my job, but then again, there's that aspect, like, I don't like the idea of getting up, going to work every day for somebody else, building their brand or building their business. I want to do that for myself. I want to wake up and do things to better myself and bring more value to myself and others around me, and I want to control that. So I think that's really what pushed me into starting to get into stuff like this,
Bro, man. Hey, you just set off a fire in me, bro. Cause that's me hands down. You mentioned one huge word, bro, one pivotal word in regards to my life, just like yours, bro. And that is control. I do not, like you said, it may sound selfish. I don't care if it sounds selfish. Look. I don't like to be told what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't like having someone else make decisions for me. Like you said,
that's it, right?
That's it right there. It's just like that whole aspect of like you said, building someone else's brand or in some sense helping that another man get rich while me myself as just kind of going or underneath that person in a sense, getting the scraps. You don't have control. So like you said, building your lifestyle, building a personal brand or doing things like this that at some point can help you get to that point is, to me, like you said, very pivotal, because you're able to have control. You're able to truly wake up and not just having control, but loving what I do. So having control in what it is that you enjoy doing. So you stated, you're not necessarily looking to or necessarily just saying you want to just do away with your whole nursing career, your nursing life, but you want to incorporate that into what you said that you want to go into.
Definitely. Nursing is a part of who I am. I feel like I can never really, leave that out. You feel me? I feel like that's going to follow everywhere I go and everything I do.
Bro.
You can't just be a nurse one day and then say, hey, I'm not a nurse no more. Like that field, that job is just it's kind of who you are after a while,
Exactly. And bro, I know we talked about this too, but I want to shine a little light on this for a little bit. When it came to, or when it comes to, because we're still in it, when it comes to this pandemic as a nurse, and I'm assuming you've been a nurse throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that experience, how has that been? If you can just, I guess, in some sense, give a quick synopsis. Were you afraid? Was it, I know you say you love doing what you do, but were there times where you just kind of wanted to go, man, it ain't worth all this? How did you feel going through this pandemic? Just, I guess, if you could speak for yourself and other nurses that you know as well.
Really, I feel like I was, for the most part, unscathed by the pandemic.
Wow.
I mean, before the pandemic, my job wasn't affected. My family life wasn't really affected. I told you, I was always like, not really that popular guy, but then again, I wasn't really that shy guy necessarily. Like it was kind of like a good mixture, I guess you could say. my life wasn't really too much affected by it. You know, I was always still around my family.
Oh,
It came to work. The only real difference there is we just put on masks all the time.
right.
I mean, I don't. I got a raise during the pandemic.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it really wasn't too much negative for me.
Dang.
I mean, most of it was actually like a positive. You know,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't say I was necessarily scared, but I wasn't really scared from the pandemic.
Wow.
I'm scared. Actually got COVID. What is that like? Five? No, like 3 or 4 months ago. I say I got COVID. It had me feeling like crazy for like
Mm.
I say like 4 or 5 hours. I woke up, worked out, ate some breakfast, and then out of nowhere, I just started feeling just like dizzy, weak,
Mm.
like real, crazy. I don't usually feel like that. I
Yeah.
rarely ever get sick. I rarely ever, things like that don't normally happen to me. So
Yeah.
when she saw me like laying in bed, she saw me, I was cold too. I was real cold. She
Mm.
saw me laying in bed, not really doing nothing, not really talking too much. She knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was, making me soup, trying to comfort me, everything like
Yeah.
that. We ended up going to get one of those home COVID tests.
Yeah.
I ended up being positive. She ended up testing negative. But the thing about it is, after I'll say 5, 6 hours later, I was like perfectly fine. So
What
I
the
was
heck?
feeling all of that like for 5, 6 hours straight. I got in the shower, ran some hot water on me, got out, and I'll say like a few hours later, I just felt like back to normal. Next day, I was back working out and everything, but it was just like for that brief 4 to 6 hours, I was just like out of there. And that was my first COVID. I didn't get vaccinated. I didn't get the booster shots. I didn't get none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like that was like I'll say the craziest experience I had with COVID. I'll say, but I mean, other than that, everything else was I say positive. I seen it as
Dang.
most.
That's
You know,
crazy, bro.
yeah.
Man, like, and again, you're the first nurse I've been able to ask this, so that's why I had to ask. Like, I was like, how do nurses feel? How did they feel, or how do they feel rather throughout this pandemic? And it's like, you said it was you feel fine. It was perfect.
To be honest, I feel like most nurses will say they had a good experience with it. I don't know if you heard or you had any nurse friends tell you anything, but during the pandemic, they was giving nurses, especially RNs, they was giving them like $100 an hour to come work here, $80 an hour to come work here. So they was really shooting the prices up. So I know a lot of nurses was, flying out there, take care of all the travel expenses, take care of all the food, lodging, everything. They was taking care of everything and paying them $100 an hour, $80 an hour, stuff like that. So most of the nurses I actually spoke with was happy about it. I
Wow.
mean, all the death and everything that came with it,
Yeah.
obviously, but it was nothing but good experiences for the most part. From my perspective, I guess you could say.
Bro, no, I love that, bro. Because again, you're the first nurse I asked. So
Yeah.
to hear that was the mindset behind it, and there wasn't just this dread of, and of course we've seen a few nurses who've kind of mentioned a few things here or there, but hearing it from someone who is a nurse and having you on my channel saying this, bro, it's like iconic. I'm kind of like, dang, this it is not what I thought it was. I thought all the nurses were just miserable, or in some sense like, man, I hate it, or they're taking advantage of us. But that wasn't what it was for you.
Not personally, at least. I mean, there might have been some nurses.
Yeah.
Like I'm in an assisted living facility.
Right.
So that's really you basically seeing the same thing every day.
Right.
You pass them the medication, give them breakfast, give them lunch, give them dinner. Basically the same thing every day.
Right.
Now, or in the hospital setting, you may see something totally different.
True.
But my experience wasn't that. I'm in like a pretty stable environment. So my experience probably totally different from somebody working in the ER,
I know. I appreciate that. I appreciate that distinction. I appreciate that. So I'll make sure next time I have to get somebody from the ER. Look. I know one lady who actually she wants to hop on here, but again, your voice still matters. So I appreciate that too, man, as well. And glad that you stayed safe. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 hours, that's perfect in comparison to people who've been months, So, bro, oh my goodness. But with that said too, bro, I wanted to tie back to you and your relationship with your father, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to tie back to this, and especially tie back to this because, you know, again, as us being young black men, that's not something you hear every day. You don't hear the son talking about the father in regards to how influential he was in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the main things when I DM'd you and you said that. I said, "Yep, I got to ask." I was like, "Yeah, I got to ask you that." I'm bringing this up because again, I'm gonna paint the picture that it ain't always a negative. No, we got some good. Say it again.
It's good black fathers out there.
Exactly, bro. And so I want you to speak on that, like, you know, the aspect of, you know, this relationship and this influence you said that your father had on you. I know you said that he, in a sense, introduced you from birth to fitness, you know, all sports and things of that nature. But why do you think that those things stuck with you? What about him? You know, even though he's passed now, and my condolences. But what about him, and what about the things that he instilled in you? What do you feel like? Why do you feel like it had left such a major impact or imprint on you? And why do you feel like to this day it has stuck with you? And perhaps maybe it's stuck with you more than just physical, which I'm sure, maybe mental and emotional. But could you tie into why do you feel like it has tied in or stuck with you up into this point of your life?
Really, I would say my father plays an integral role in every aspect of my life, even to this day.
Wow.
Growing up, I mean, he was my father figure. He's my father. So
yeah,
that's the man I'm seeing, you know, every day. I see him getting up, go to work, come home, take care of his family, take care of his wife, take care of his kids, you know, in that. And like, I don't know, I guess it just like instilled this provider mentality in me, this no excuses type of go get it type of guy, you know? I mean, he did complain, but not about like, I gotta rephrase that. They complained about some stuff, but he was never one to make an excuse. I'll say that he was never one to make like an excuse for something. No matter what, he will always get it done. Like you would never see him calling off for work. You would never see him saying he's gonna do something and doesn't do it. Like he was just always that dependable, reliable type of guy. So losing that in the family, I got a brother or sister and my mom, obviously. So losing that piece of the family, I always felt like I was connected to him in a different way from my brother and sister. Like if I could pull up a picture of him, people will tell you we look just alike. Like everybody's twin. So I felt like I was connected to him in a special way that my brother and sister weren't. You know, we had this like this special bond. So like I said, when we lost that part of the family, it felt like it was my turn to step up. It was my turn to fill those shoes. I felt like everybody was looking at me. I'm the youngest.
So I was about to say that. Yeah.
Brother, I think he's 26, I believe. And my sister, no, he's probably 27. He's 27. And my sister is 30. And I'm 23 going on 24.
You 23. Bro, I'm 27. Golly.
Look it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So I was always the youngest, but I felt like since I had that bond with my dad and I shared those things with him, I felt like it was my duty to kind of step in and, you know, like not necessarily put the pieces back together, but step in and be that dependable person, that rock that he was. You feel me? I feel like he left some huge shoes to fill. And once he passed, I feel like it was my duty to fill them, you know? And I feel like to this day, every decision I make to get up and go to work today, you know, it's days I get up, I'm like, I do not feel like going to work today. I'm like, damn, what would my dad do? My dad wouldn't do this. My dad wouldn't do that, you know? So I feel like that always plays in the back of my mind. Like, you got to get it. You don't have no excuses. He ain't have no excuses. You can't have no excuses. You know, so I feel like in every decision I make, it's like that hungry go getter, you know, in the back of my mind, like, you got to get it. You got to do it. You know?
When you were younger and when you had these moments, these memories with your father, because you say you passed 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So when you had those moments with him growing up, were there ever moments where I guess that maybe you can share with us, or maybe that you can recall where he would talk to you, and are there moments to this day that you pull on specifically when you're, like I said, when you're down or when you're out, or when you just kind of feel like maybe in some sense giving up, or maybe you feel like the burden is too heavy for this everybody looking at you? Are there any moments that y'all shared or anything he said to you that you could share in regards?
But he had a whole lot of sayings, man. Not all of them was PG.
Yeah.
But no, he had a lot of sayings. I think one of the major ones, I mean, but this is just like a kind of general one, but one of the major ones that I always remember, you know, like I told you, he was always trying to get me into fitness, trying to get me to do this, trying to get me to work out, you know, trying to get me to be athletic, healthy. So around high school, you know, that's like teenager rebellion years. You feel me? You don't want nobody. You think you know everything. So around that time period, me and him was just butting heads about everything. He tell me to go clean the bathroom. No, I don't. Like, I wouldn't say no, but I get an attitude. I wouldn't want to do nothing that he's telling me to do. Like, we was literally just like butting heads. You could feel the tension. You know, my sister said that a lot. The tension, and it wasn't nothing necessarily that he was doing wrong. It's just, I guess that was just, you know, my rebellious years. Right. You know. So yeah, I would always, like, at that time, I told you he was trying to get me into, you know, to stay playing sports, to keep doing this. And I was just like, no, I didn't want to do nothing. Like, I wanted to do what I want to do. You know? So, damn, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you want to repeat the question?
Yeah, repeat the question one more time.
Yeah. Just in terms of anything that your father had in some sense said to you or would say to you that kind of helped you. Yeah.
So in the back of my mind, I could hear it. So like, when I was telling you I didn't want to like play sports, I didn't want to work out no more during that rebellious high school years, I could always hear him saying these exact words. You're going to wish you had started working out when I told you to. He always used to say that. Because he was telling me like to like start while I was young.
Yep.
That older, I'd be ahead of everybody else when it comes to fitness. Because, you know, when you're young, you don't really think about like, oh, let me work out. Let me look good. Exactly. Let me eat right. You don't think about those things. But when you get older, now you want to start coming, you know, trying to get right, trying to get healthy, trying to get fit. You feel me? So he always, oh, you're going to wish you started working out when you was young. I could literally hear him saying those exact words in the back of my head. Every day, he used to just drill out into my head. And I used to be like, come on, man, watch out. Like, you doing too much. But he was right, to say the least.
Right. Bro, and that right there, man, again, going back into the father-son aspect of growth, of just growing up. You know, a lot of times I feel like, and I was actually just watching an interview with Kevin Hart. He was on I think Jimmy Fallon show or something like that, and he had mentioned Father's Day and Mother's Day. He was like, yeah, there's a huge difference between the two. Like, you know, he's like, did you see that? You saw that? Bro, he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I don't want to say it's a big difference, but it's a big difference. And he was like, you know, in some sense, you can feel when you know, when there's Mother's Day, you can feel when it's coming up, but for Father's Day, they just bro,
don't get no love.
That's messed. And was that the case in your house too?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because
yeah. Like, once I think about it and compare it, yeah.
He just got
like
some eggs,
cards, you know, like not birthday cards. He used to get like a Father's Day card, or, you know, something simple. But my mom, like, we used to, you know, kind of go all out as a family, you know. So I mean, it really was a big difference.
Yeah,
it really was.
Man. Yeah, and though that's cool, you know, obviously we understand that, you know, we're gonna shout out for the mom. It goes back to what you just said. You know, the things he said to you, the sayings he left you with. You know, even though he's not here now with you, he, like you said, he's still here with you every day.
Every day.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I want to capitalize on the most, is that aspect of the influence a father can have on their the children, on their family. You know Definitely. What I'm saying? And so, and actually, I'm sorry, man, I meant to ask you this. Do you have any kids?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, that count.
wait, what you say?
I got 2 dogs, if that counts.
That counts, bro. That counts. Look, this day and age, it counts. Look. Yeah. But that's what's up, man. Do you want any?
Oh, nah, not right now. I can't see myself wanting kids right now. Wow. And I wouldn't say I don't want kids. I just feel like it's such a huge responsibility that so many of us take so lightly. I feel like so many of us, you know, not trying to throw shade or put people down. You know, people have kids, you have kids. That's, you know, you want to do, that's what you do. But I feel like too many of us jump into it, not necessarily saying you're not ready, but not thinking about how much of a
Mhm.
responsibility. Like raising a child is no easy task. That is a huge thing. And I feel like we gotta like really grasp that concept before we go out and start having children. I don't feel like I'm ready to raise a child.